One of the questions I often get asked is how I balance things out. And when I say balance things out, I mean how do I get out and about in the hills when I've got my full-time job, I've got the family, I've got to edit all these videos. And one of the answers I always give is I've got a very, very understanding wife and family. But the other thing that I'd say is now in the last 6 months or so, one of the best things that's happened is my son and my wife have taken up a wee bit of hill walking. So for them to be able to come out with me has made things so much better. I'm able to enjoy the hills with them, and it's absolutely fabulous. And today is an example of that, and we headed up the highest road in the UK to tackle a Munro that I hadn't done for about 20 years, and something that perhaps isn't overly taxing for those of you that aren't out in the hills every weekend. It's certainly a good one to start with. So we parked up at this high car park next to the ski centre and started the ritual of getting the shoes on, the gear on, making sure we had all the provisions for us all and the dog before we set about heading off up the Munro, out the back of the hills at Glenshee. Oh, right. So today's trip's going to be quite good for beginners, but also if you just want a short day out. Doesn't matter how experienced you are, and the time is now, it's nearly 12:30. We didn't actually leave the house until 11 o'clock today, so it's a perfect half day. And I'm here with the dog and my family, and yeah, we're going to go for Munro, and hopefully it's going to be quite nice. The weather's good, so let's get cracked on and up to the top, and we'll report back later. Right, we're making nice speedy progress. I think I've mentioned this before. This is up at the ski centre, and one of the reasons it makes it such a nice short outing is you're starting over 600 metres, which is lovely. I don't know if you can make it out over my shoulder there, that's the ski centre down there now. There are 3 Munros here. There's this one here which you'll have seen me up quite recently, and then over my other shoulder, up there is the other Munro which we've all done as a family. Quite a few times actually, but the one we haven't done is the one that's just further out the back, and we're heading there. It's a lovely summer's day. In fact, we've already, well, my wife and my son have already de-layered. It's amazing how quickly you heat up. Anyway, once we get up to the Beala here, it's a nice ridge. It goes past a few wee lock-ins to the summit of the third Munro, and I'll report back there. But at the moment, just taking our time, enjoying the sunny summer weather. God, that's a mouthful. And I need to catch up with these guys. Right, I'm just glad the dog's tethered to me, because at least there's somebody that's waiting for me. Right, let's go. So on we went, and I eventually managed to catch up with Speedy Gonzalez at the front there, and we trekked on a bit further before coming off the main ski route onto a more conventional track. And we decided we're going to have lots of stops, and that's what we did. And we certainly we stopped here, and the dog was mooching, but it soon became apparent she was going to prefer a bit of Scotch egg as opposed to my son's sausage roll. I think Scotch eggs always trump sausage rolls in my opinion. Anyway, we sat here and took in the views. It was rather fine. Hey Lex. Right, we've stopped here for a wee, just a wee bite to eat. And one thing I was going to say is, it's far too noisy. You guys want to shut up? I'm trying to make a professional video here. Can't I get the staff nowadays? Are you finished? Anyway, what I was going to say is what was that? You back chatting to the boss? Anyway, what I was going to say is this route, these 3 hills at Glenshee are always in the guidebooks as a group of 3, but you don't have to do the 3 of them. In fact, the last few times we've been up here with the family, even when they were really wee, we just did them individually. It just depends how you feel, and we've decided to go to the furthest away one this time, but you know, if we come back we might do the other 2, we really don't know. But yeah, don't always have to follow what the guidebooks say, so we're going to this one and we'll come back and we'll see if we can do the other 2 or not. But yeah, they better go, because they're not speaking to me now, they're away in the distance. The dog's whining, she's on the lead. I better get packed up and go. It's alright, Lexi? you want to just wait there? Because the dog's itching to go. Oh, I don't know. Right, better get a move on. So after a bit of fun there, we set off again and made our way along the ridge. And once again, I was striding along, trying to catch up with my wife and son, with the dog pulling me along, husky style, towards the summit. And at this point, the going is lovely. It's really nice, easy walking. Once you're up the initial steep part next to the ski slopes, the ridge levels off and it's lovely grassy walking. And there's a few wee loch-ins which we actually stopped at on the way back down. And today was just fantastic. As you can see, there was lots of blue skies as we headed along, and we stopped for a wee while and actually watched a big eagle that was circling round about the plains above us. It was just fabulous. Keeping an eye on the dog. I don't know if it was maybe spying her, thinking there's a bit of lunch. Anyway, there's a final short, steep pool before you reach the summit plateau, and before long we'd arrived at the summit of this hill, which is called Aweigh. Oh, what a lovely day, and that's us at the summit of this outlying, sometimes called an outlying Munro, and it's a bit more length involved in the two that are right next to the roadside, but the ascent isn't too bad. There's a wee steep bit at the end, but most of the walk is along the flat, and there's a reasonable path, but just remember when the mist's down, it does make it a bit more tricky, especially if you lose the path. So, you guys find it okay? Yeah. Full of talk. I should be glad of it. Usually the lip I get off Jerry. These guys are just quiet all of a sudden. But that was okay. Dog seems to have enjoyed it. Made sure she had enough water. So we've got a wee dish. You can pass me that dish, Liam. I don't know if the guys will be able to see it, but yeah, these collapsible dishes are great. Bits for putting water in her food for the dogs, and they collapse down to nothing. So she has had enough water and hasn't overheated. She's now got her eyes transfixed on my son's sausage rolls, and she's munching away on. So yeah, lovely, great wee hill for starting out on in the summer. As I always say, in the summer, not in the winter. All these hills that are meant to be easy are not in the winter if you've not got the experience and what have you. So in the summer, lovely wee jaunt. So give it a shot, or even just a wee half day. If you're experienced. As I said, we didn't get out of the house until after 11 today, and didn't start walking until the back of 12. So yeah, we're on a bit now, so we're just going to sit here and enjoy the sun before heading back down. Enjoy these views. It was such a lovely day. It's not often you get to the top of Munro in Scotland and you're able to just sit out and bask in the sunshine. And there was lots of other people out and about in the hills, lots of families, lots of younger people. There was a whole spectrum of ages on the hill. Anyway, after quite some time, we decided it was time to get up and started our descent off the hill back down towards the car at the ski centre. As I mentioned earlier on, there was actually a few loch-ins, and we stopped at these and actually paddled our feet in them, or some of us did anyway, to cool off. It was that nice. Anyway, down we went, and before long we were heading back down through the ski paraphernalia and back towards the car, and we were just about back when we spotted something we couldn't let go. Yep, the chairlifts were on, and after a short, sudden shock at the cost, we headed up and round the ski lift just for a bit of fun at the end of the day. And here's the video of that. So this was actually great fun. It was quite steeply priced, but you know what? My son really enjoyed it, and as did my wife, and you get some great views. Same views as we had from walking up, but yeah, well worth a wee trip round the chairlift if you've got the inclination to do that stuff. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching as always. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure.